श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापां मणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीम्. With the blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we have come quite a distance in this sacred enterprise of discourses on LALITHA SAHASRANAMA. This last week has been a very eventful week for our Matham. Last Sunday, we had Vyasa Puja celebrated at Tiruvannaikkaval by our Periyava, followed by the 90th Jayanti Utsavam of our Puduperiyava, Sri Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal, on Tuesday, 23rd. Was celebrated in a very grand manner at many places, including Tiruvannaikkaval and Srimatham. I had the fortune to attend in Srimatham. Very nice, very sacred celebration. Now, Chaturmasya Vratam has also been taken by our Periyava at Orikai near Kanchipuram, starting from Panchami Tithi. Now, Chaturmasya Vratam is going on. As all of us know, this is a very sacred period for having darshan and taking blessings from Periyava and offering Bhikshavandanam and other offerings. Great news. Now we go ahead with LALITHA Sahasranama. I think 169 is not correct. I think it should be 167. Yeah, correct. Yeah, let us start 167.
Namaskaram, Mama.
Namaskaram.
Veeragoshti Priya Veera Naishkarmya Nadarupini Vijnana Karana Kalya Vidhakta Bhaindhavasana Tattvadika Tattvamayi Tattvamartha Swarupini Samagana Priya Soumya Sadashiva Kutumbini.
Veeragoshti Priya. Goshti means a group of people. We all know it. It is used in our regional languages also. Veeragoshti, the group of devoted upasakas, as we have defined Veeras earlier, or those people of valor who show their valor on the battlefield. Whichever group we take, both the groups, Devi shows extraordinary love for them. And this Goshti has got another significant meaning. It is not just a group engaged in conversation. It is a sabha, a group engaged in conversation. So when devotees gather, what will they talk about? They will talk about Devi's Leela, Devi's glory, etc. And Devi is extremely pleased with that. So Veera Goshti Priya. Veera, she is herself a very valorous Devi, very courageous Devi, known for valor and courage, which has been exhibited by her on several battlefields. So that is Veera. But there is another interesting definition of Veera, which is given by the commentator. He is quoting from Nama Mala. He says, Pati Putravati Veera, definition of Veera, one who has a living husband and living sons. Pati Putravati Veera. So that way also Devi is Veera. Naishkarmya, this is an extremely important Vedantic term. Naishkarmya is not doing anything. No, it doesn't mean that. It means doing everything, but relinquishing the ownership of the acts that we do, relinquishing the doership of the acts that we do. That is Naishkarmya. This term has been used in Bhagavad Gita and all Vedantic texts. Very important term. Unless we develop a sense of separation of ourselves from our acts, we cannot attain this Naishkarmya. In fact, there is a text, Vedantic text called Naishkarmya Siddhi, written by no less a person than Sureshwaracharya. Naishkarmya Siddhi. So that is Naishkarmya. So Devi is given the name here, Rama. That means she is very active. Nobody can match the activity of Devi, but no activity attaches to her. Namam karmani limpanti, Bhagavan says in Gita. So that is the Nitpyate nata papena, he also says in another context. So if you are keeping yourself away from the sense of ownership of your activity, you reap neither punya nor papa, and you qualify gradually for moksha. Nada Rupini, the very form of Nada, this we have seen before. All Srishti, all creation starts from Onkar, Pranava. Pranava is the Nada which is being referred to here. And Devi is of the form of Vedas, Devi is especially of the form of Onkara. And even in Onkara, there is an Ardhamatra, A, and then there is an Ardhamatra, Om. That Ardhamatra, she is of that form. Nada Rupani, that is Nada, real Nada is that Ardhamatra. Beyond Auma, beyond the Srishti, Sthiti, and Samhara, which are represented by Auma, beyond, she is in the Turiya state, she is Nada Rupini. Well, you can also take the steps of creation, Nada, Bindu, and Kala. We saw that Nada is the very first step of creation, starting from Pranava. So that way also she is Nada Rupini. Vijnana Kalana, one who brings about Vijnana, one who grants Vijnana. What is Vijnana? Vijnana is the experience going beyond the body consciousness, and merging ourselves with Devi. That is Vijnana. That is the definition of Vijnana. I have given it Vedantic texts, including Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. Jnana is knowing that such a state exists. Vijnana is experiencing that state. So this is the big difference between jnana and vijnana. We may possess jnana by listening to discourses on Gita and Upanishads, by reading them, but we will not be anywhere near attaining vijnana. So that is the difference. So it is Devi's grace, compassion that gives you that state of vijnana. Now, there is another second meaning which has been given by the commentator. He says vijnana also means scholarship of the 14 Vidyas. 14 Vidyas are recognized in our Shastras, we saw it before. So he says if somebody is a master of 14 Vidyas, he has also attained Vijnana. Chaturdashanam Vidyanam Dharanam hi yatharthataha. That perhaps is the key. Yatharthataha, dharanam hi yatharthataha. He bears that knowledge in truth. That means he has experienced this supreme nature. Dharanam hi yatharthataha, vijnanamiti tad vidyat. Next is Kalya. Kalya, there should be a comma there, but Kalya is different from Vidagdha. These are two different namas. Kalya means one who is clever in all kalas, all arts, one who has samarthya, one who has dexterity in all kalas. That is the direct meaning. Then there are other meanings, because Kalya has, if you see the dictionary, there are many meanings. It includes Srishti, it includes Ushakala, the dawn, it includes being free from diseases, it includes dexterity, it includes auspicious speech, so many such things. So all these virtues can be associated with Devi because Devi is the one who grants all these virtues. So Kalya goes with all those virtues. Vidagdha. Vidagdha means one whose nature is cleverness, is dexterity, whose nature, that is Vidagdha. By nature, she is very clever. Well, this doesn't need any explanation. Baindavasana. Baindavasana means one who has her asana, her seat in Bindu. Baindava asana. Asana of Bindu. What is Bindu? In the Sri Chakra, there is a dot at the center around which there are triangles. Now, the immediate triangle around the Bindu, around the dot, is known as Sarvanandamaya Chakra. Sarva Anandamaya Chakra. Now, that is the seat of Bindu, where Devi is seated. This is the direct, simple meaning. Then there are other meanings given by the commentary. Many meanings he is giving for this name. One is that above the eyebrows, near the Ajna Chakra, above the Ajna Chakra, this place is called Bindu. That is also given in certain Tantra Shastra, Swachhanda Tantra, he is quoting, for example. Hakini Mandalad Urdham Bindu Rupam Vartulam. So there is a lotus, naturally. In every chakra there is a lotus. This particular lotus, Shiva comes and sits there along with Devi during the ascent of Kundalini. So that state, when Shiva sits there and blesses us along with Devi, Vamabhage Samasena Shantyatita Manonmani Shantyatita we saw earlier. Vamabhage Samasena, Devi is seated on the left side of Shiva. That is Bayandavasana. This is one another aspect. Third aspect is Devi is seated in Sri Puram. Sri Puram, inside, surrounded by Sudha Sagara, etc., etc., Chintamani Griha, etc., etc. That is also that the seat of her is known as Bindusthanam. Also, in the Sahasrara Kamala, on the top, near the Brahmarandra, there is a lotus Karnika, the lotus stem. There is a Chandra Mandala, and that Chandra Mandala is the one which gives the shower of Amrita. That is where Devi is seated along with Kameshwara. So that is also Baindavasana. So 3 or 4 locations were given for Baindavasana. Tattvadhika. Tattvadhika means one who is beyond tattvas, beyond principles. Which principles? Now, if you see creation, Srishti, many tattvas are associated with creation. Many Sankhya and other Shastras expound these tattvas. Some are listing as 25, some are listing them as 36, some are listing them as 51, etc., etc. Now, all these tattvas are connected with perishable creation. Now, naturally, Devi is imperishable, so she is beyond these tattvas connected with creation. Tattvadhika, Tattvamayi. This kind of grouping of names we have been seeing frequently in Lalitha Sahasranama. When Devi is beyond tattvas, does it mean tattvas are external to her? Does it mean creation is external to her? No. We have seen, after having created, Devi enters into the creation and supports Adhara. We have seen it repeatedly. So that is what is mentioned here. Tattvamayi. Though she is beyond tattvas, she is also of the form of those very tattvas. This is one meaning. Then there are other deeper meanings given by the commentator. One deep meaning which he gives is very interesting. He says tattva in Shakta literature is given into 3 categories: Atma Tattva, Vidya Tattva, and Shiva Tattva. This is how tattvas are, the highest tattvas are defined in Shakta literature. Now these are correspondingly Tat, Chit, and Ananda. Sat is associated with Atma Tattva, Chit is associated with Vidya Tattva, that is Devi, and Ananda is associated with Shiva Tattva, which is associated with Parameshwara, with Shiva. Now, all these three tattvas emanate from Devi. She is the very form of the Devi. In fact, she is not even the form of those tattvas. She is even beyond. Tattvadhika can also be brought in here. The two names together. She is beyond all description. She is beyond all definition. Tattvamartha Swarupini. Tat Tvam Artha Swarupini. Thou art that, as they say in English translation of Tattvamasi, the great Mahavakya. You are that. The great Mahavakya from Chandogya Upanishad. We have seen it before also. Which says that Jivatma is no different from Paramatma. That is our Advaita Tattva. So the purport of this principle, the statement of this principle, the meaning of this principle, Devi is of the very form, Tattvam Artha Swarupini. Samagana Priya. Devi is fond of Samagana. Of all the Vedas, Vedanam Samavedosmi, Bhagavan says in Gita, when he is describing all the Vibhutis, Vedanam Samavedo. Samaveda is one of the Vibhutis which he is mentioning, where his glory is coming out in full form. Because Samagana is said to a very rare music, which is not available in the other Vedas like Rig Veda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda. So, all devatas, if you see any Ashtotra, Satanama Stotra, any Sahasranama Stotra, this term will always be there. Samagana Priya, Samagana Priya. This is the reason. Saumya or Somya, there are two versions of this name. One is Somya, another is Saumya. Saumya, if you take, both are correct. Saumya, if you take, it means beautiful. It means beautiful and peaceful. Not just beauty, it also includes peace, harmony. So that is Saumya. If you take Somya, it means she is to be worshipped through Somayaga. That is Somya. Devi is to be worshipped through Somayaga. One meaning. Another meaning is Soma means Chandra. We all know it. So, like Chandra gives Akhlada, like Chandra gives pleasure, Akhlada vastus, like ocean, like elephant, like Chandra, these are mentioned repeatedly in our Shastras we saw earlier. So, Chandra is also always associated with happiness. So, Devi is also associated with happiness. So, Somya. Sadashiva Kutumbini, she is of the Kutumba, the family of Sadashiva. She is the consort of Sadashiva. Veeragoshti Priya Veera Naishkarmya Nadarupini Vijnana Kalana Kalya Vidagdha Bhaindavasana Tattvadhika Tattvamayi Tattvamarthaswarupini Kamagana Priya Soumya Sadashiva Kutumbini.
सौव्यापसव्य मार्गस्था सर्वापत् विनिवारिणी स्वस्था स्वभाव मधुरा धीरा धीर समर्चिता चैतन्यार्क समाराध्या चैतन्य कुसुम प्रिया सदोदिता सदा तुष्टा तरुणादित्य पाटला.
Savyapasavya Margastha. This has got a very deep, several deep meanings. We will go through some of them to the extent possible. Savya, Apasavya Margastha. Savya means right hand, right-handed. Apasavya means opposite, left-handed. Devi is of the form, Devi is established in both the paths. Marga, both the paths, that is right-handed path as well as left-handed path. That is Vama Marga and Dakshina Marga. This is the common nomenclature which we see in Shakta literature. Whatever we have been discussing is Dakshina Marga. Vama Marga is different. Certain Tantra texts support this Vama Marga, but it is prohibited for those who follow Vedas. For those who follow Vedas, Vama Marga is prohibited. Though it was prevalent in very large extent in Bengal and other places, Vama Marga. Now, but it is not entirely prohibited, isn't it? If you are very careful, and devoted to it's a very risky, dangerous game, this Vama Marga. So the Shastras prohibit, particularly in Kali Yuga, it is extremely difficult. But it is difficult does not mean it is prohibited. That is why both are mentioned here. Savya, Apasavya, Margastha. Now, another meaning is when the jiva leaves the body at the time of death, there are two margas which are mentioned in Shastras. One is Archiradi Marga, another is Dhumradi Marga. Archiradi Marga goes to Surya Loka and further to Devaloka. That is where the jiva goes on that path. Whereas Dhumradi Marga means path of darkness. Archiradi Marga means path of light. So those who are extremely punyavan, they go through the first one. Those who are not so much punyavan, but they are having enough punya to their credit, they go to the path of darkness and they go to the Pitraloka via Chandraloka. They go to Pitraloka. Now, Margastha, this is where the important, this Archiradi Marga and Dhumradi Marga is mentioned in several texts, including Bhagavad Gita. You might have heard of this. But here, the commentator comes out with a very interesting third Marga. That is what he says, Savya, Apasavya, Margastha. Marga does not mean path, according to him, in this definition. It means the middle path. It is neither Savya nor Apasavya. There is a third path. So, what is that path? That goes to Dhruva Nakshatra, Dhruva star. That means certain jivas have to live long in Dhruva star. So they don't go to Pitraloka or Devaloka. Now, none of these jivas attains moksha. They go to Archiradi Marga, they may go through Dhumradi Marga to Pitraloka, they may go to Dhruvaloka. None of them attain moksha. If you attain moksha, even in course of time, you will go to Brahmaloka and from there you will go to moksha. But these people spend a very, very long time, unimaginably long time, and then come back. Well, this is one explanation of Savya, Apasavya, Margatha. Then there is another interesting explanation. As I said, many explanations are given by the commentator. He says, Savya represents the Ida Nadi, Apasavya, which is the left, represents the Pingala Nadi, and Marga, which is the central one, as we saw just now, represents the Sushumna Nadi. In all the three nadis, unless you do yoga abhyasa, practice of yoga through the three nadis, you cannot get the desired result of Kundalini ascent. So, Savya, Apasavya, Margastha. So, in all the three nadis, Devi is present to bless you. The third, there are many meanings. Sarva Apat Vinivarini, one who relieves you of all dangers. Sarva Apat Vinivarini. Now, this commentator has clubbed this name with the previous name, one interpretation, where we saw left-handed and right-handed, Vamachara and Dakshinachara. And we said Vamachara is dangerous and all. When you say Vamachara is dangerous, Devi still protects you. Sarva Apat Binivarini, those who are wedded to Vamachara, but still very devoted to Devi, they don't do anything wrong. They don't do anything devious. For them, Devi grants relief from those dangers. That's the first meaning he gives. Then the common meaning of all dangers which every one of us faces during our life. Devi blesses us by giving us relief. And for that, he is quoting from various texts. And one very interesting quotation he gives, which all of us know in fact, question and answer. Well, the author of this text is not very clear. Some people think it is Adi Shankara. I don't think it is Adi Shankara, though it looks like Prashnottara Ratnamalika, but it is not. Maybe it is Appaya Dikshita or somebody else, not very clear, but very beautiful. It says, Apadi Kim Karaniyam. What should be done when you are faced with danger? The answer is Maraniyam Charana Yugalam Ambayaha. What you should meditate upon is the twin feet of Amba. Next question. There's no end here. The next question is very interesting. Next question is Tatsmaranam Kim Kurute. What will happen if you meditate on the twin feet of Deva, Devi? Brahmadenapi Kinkari Kurute. That is the answer. That meditation will make Devas, including Brahma, as your servants. This is what he says. Brahmadenapi Kinkari Kurute. Kinkari means Kinkara is a servant. So that is the greatness of Sarvapat Vinivarini. Swastha. Swastha means one who is established in self, in Atma. That is real Swastha. Swa is always referred to Atma. But in common regional language talk, we use Swastha for getting well after some disease, after attack of some disease. If you get well, then we become Swastha. That is the question we ask. That also means same. That means you return to normal. Similarly, in Vedantic parlance, returning to normal means being established in Atma, not being wedded to the body. If you are wedded to the body, you are suffering from a disease. This we saw before. Bhava Roga Gni, we saw. So Bhava Roga. So if you have to get out of that disease, you have to go to healthy side. Which is the healthy side? Established in Atma, Swastha, without any chanchalyam, no fickleness, permanently, properly established. That is Swastha. Swabhava Madhura, sweet by nature. Swabhava Madhura means sweet by nature. Everybody likes Devi, loved by everybody. That is her nature. This is the straight meaning. There are many interesting derivations as usual. Bhaskaraya makes. One of them is interesting. He says, Swa refers to Devi's devotees. Swa refers to Devi's devotees. Bhava refers to bhakti, the bhakti of the devotees. And Madhura, and there also he, Madhu and Ra, he splits. Madhu means superior strength. Ra means she gives. She gives superior strength for those who are very devoted, for those bhaktas who are devoted because of their devotion. Swa, Bhava, Madhu, Ra. So, like this, there are some interesting meanings deriving. Dhira. Dhira means, there are two meanings possible according to Sanskrit grammar. Normally in Vedanta literature, in this kind of literature, the first meaning is not given importance. First meaning is one who has got dhairya, one who has got courage, one who is courageous. That is dhira. But that is not very important. What is important is you have the courage to break away from samsara, to break away from the attractions of samsara, and attach yourself to the feet of Devi. And Devi is herself an expert in that. She is always swastha, she is always established in her Atma. She is never, her attention never is deviating here and there. She is ever established in Atma. So she is Dhira. Dhira Samarchita, she is worshipped by this kind of Dhira, whom we described just now. Those who are wedded to Devi's feet, those who are wedded to Adhyatma, those who have broken away from samsara. So by those Dhiras, by those very courageous people, she is worshipped. Chaitanyarghya Samaradhya, one who is worshipped by the Arghya of Chaitanya. Arghya, all of you must be knowing, is offering of water from the palm. In Sandhyavandanam, we do Arghya towards Surya, isn't it? 3 times. So similarly, in many pujas, there is Arghya, Kshira Arghya, Arghya with milk. towards that Devata. So Arghya is offering of water, but here there is more than that. Devi is worshipped by offering of that Arghya, but not water. But what Arghya means, in fact, Arghya means something very valuable. The word Arghya means something of enormous value. So something of enormous value you have to offer to Devi. What is that which you can offer? Your Atma, your Chaitanya. Chaitanya Arghya Samaradhya. Your own Chaitanya, your own Atma, your own consciousness, you offer. Means what? You merge your consciousness with Devi's consciousness. You merge your Atma with Devi's Atma. That is the, the, the highest offering of Arghya. So that Chaitanya Arghya Samaradhya. Well, if you come down slightly, we have gone to the very highest level. If you come down slightly, in puja, as we said, we are offering Arghya. Similarly, in Sri Chakra Puja also, Navavarana Puja, also there is Arghya offered at the end. Every puja is got Arghya, and there are certain special Arghyas which are known as Chaitanya Arghya. Chaitanya Arghya Samaradhya. Chaitanya Kusuma Priya. All women are fond of flowers, isn't it? Devi is fond of flowers. Which flowers? Devi is fond of many flowers. Mandara, Kusuma Priya, etc. We have seen. Now we have gone to a different interpretation. We have gone to Chaitanya. She is fond of the flower of Chaitanya. That means if you offer your Chaitanya, your consciousness to Devi, your mind and your consciousness and your Atma to Devi, that is the best offering to her. She likes it as if it is a flower that you are offering. Because anything which is liked by Devi is known as flower. That is why we offer flowers to in all pujas, isn't it? Why we offer flowers otherwise? Because all devatas like flowers. So that is why this reference to Kusuma comes here, flower. And the commentator very nicely refers us to another interesting definition. He says, flowers are also defined in a different manner. Ahimsa prathamam pushpam indriyanam cha nigraha. The first pushpa that you can offer is ahimsa. Shantihi pushpam daya pushpam jnana pushpam param matam. Shanti is forbearance. Daya, compassion. Jnana pushpam param matam. Of all pushpas, jnana, that is the same, Chaitanya, is the best. Tapah pushpam satya pushpam bhava pushpam athashtamam. Well, bhava, tapa, satya are all paths before you go to jnana, isn't it? Though jnana is mentioned earlier and tapas is mentioned later. These are paths to attain jnana. So, jnana pushpam param matam, that is the best, that is the highest. So, that is Chaitanya Puduma Priya. Sadodita, always in a state of like the rise of the sun. The rise of the sun is Suryodaya, isn't it? The rise, always in a state of rise, always in a state of freshness, always in a state of encouraging the jivas. For jivas, she is always fresh and a source of encouragement. Sadodita, Sada Udita, Sada Tushta, always happy, always being. You will never find Devi the morose, unpleasant, miserable condition like we all fall into frequently. No, there's no need for it. There's nothing which she is expecting. There's nothing which she is lacking. So, Sada Tushta, ever satisfied, ever happy. And this name means that we will also become Sada Tushta. We will also become ever happy, ever satisfied if we surrender to Devi. Taruna Aditya Patala. Taruna Aditya Patala. Patala is, we have seen before, that the color which is red and white mixed together. Red and white. He says, like the rising sun, Taruna Aditya is the rising sun. At the time of rising sun, there is a white and red mixture. She is like that. She is of that color. It's the color of Devi. Of course, Bhaskaraya refers to the sun at the time of Madhyamna Kala, at 12 noon. He says, this actually refers to that also. The Tarunaditya Patala refers to that also. He is basing his meaning based on certain texts. Savya Basavya Marga Sarvapa Vinivarini Sustha Svabhava Madura Dhira Dhira Samarchita Chaitanyarghya Samaradhya Chaitanya Kutuma Priya Sadodita Sada Tushta Arunaditya Patala.
Dakshina Dakshinaaradhya Darasmera Mukhambuja Kaulini Kevalanargya Kaivalya Padadayini Stotra Priya Stutimati Stuti Samsuta Vaibhava Manaswini Manavati Maheshi Mangala Kritihi.
Dakshina, it is not two names like mentioned here in the print on the screen. There is a comma after Dakshina. No, that is not correct. According to our Bhaskara commentary, it is one name, Dakshina, Dakshinaaradhya. And it is one word, not only one name, one word. Because when you split that word, it is not the way we are splitting in the screen. We have to split it in a different manner. Dakshina, Adakshina, Aradhya. That means Dakshina Marga and Adakshina Marga, that is Vama Marga. We saw just now in an earlier Nama. She is worshipped in both the Margas, Dakshina Marga as well as Vama Marga. Now, there are other interesting definitions which, as usual, Bhakta derives. He says, Dakshina also means wise people, wise Panditas. And Adakshina means the opposite, fools. She is worshipped by both fools as well as Panditas. Then there is a third meaning which gives the opposite meaning. See, that is the beauty of Sanskrit, which Bhaskara revels in this kind of thing. He says, Dakshina means those who are strictly following Karma Marga. They will never deviate from Karma Marga. Adakshinas, they don't care for Karma Marga. They are Brahmajnanis. They have left Karma behind. They have attained Brahmajnana. This first group is still in Karma Marga. They have not attained Brahmajnana. The second group is those who have attained Brahmajnani. So both groups are falling at the feet of Devi. Darasmera Mukhambuja. Mukha Ambuja, having a lotus face which has a gentle smile. Darasmera. Smera is smile. Now, next is Kaulini Kevala, then Anarghya Kaivalya Padadayini. That is one, like that. You can split these names in different manners as we saw before. This is the way Bhaskara is splitting based on the instruction which he got from his Guru, Narasimha Bharati. So Kaulini Kevala is the name which we are now talking about. What does it mean? It means she encourages Kaula Marga, though it is difficult, as we said, like Vama Marga, this is also difficult. Kaula Marga and is not Vama Marga, not to be confused with Vama and Dakshina. Kaula and Samaya, we saw that. Kaula is the puja which is done on Sri Chakra, external puja, and Samayachara is internal, mental, manasik puja. We saw that before. So this Kaula Marga will take you more time. It will not give you immediate result. Even then, she encourages you because you may not be qualified, you may not have the tendency necessary for the other one. So Kaulini, Kevala. Kevala means she is of the very form of moksha. Kaivalyam is moksha. She is of the very form of moksha. So she encourages those who are in Kaula Marga and she is prepared to give moksha even to them, provided they come up to that level. Anarghya Kaivalya Padadayini. That is the next. It's not Anarghya as printed here. It is one name. Anarghya Kaivalya Padadayini. One who grants the state of Kaivalya, the state of moksha, which is invaluable. Anarghya means invaluable. We just saw, no, Arghya means of great value. Anarghya means invaluable, whose value cannot be established. High value. So invaluable, that moksha is described as anarghya kaivalya pada, something of great value, which cannot be established. Now, this kaivalya is the moksha, which we saw as four categories, but in Shastra we saw as the fifth category, and because it is mentioned as anarghya, this obvious references to the fifth category. Stotra priya, one who is fond of stotra. In fact, this is wise in the case of men. In the case of devatas, there is a virtue. This is an interesting thing. They are all fond of stotras, whereas if you are fond of stotra, it is a vice, it's a deficiency. Because if somebody praises you and you encourage that, your arrogance will increase, your self-consciousness will increase. Not only that, even your punya will decrease. If somebody curses you, he takes away your papa. To that extent, you are getting rid of your papa. So this is the interesting situation for us. But it is opposite in the case of Devatas. So Stotra Priya, why they are fond of Stotras? If we do Stotra, why they are fond of? Very simple. The answer is that when you do Stotra, Devi expects that you will at least a part of your attention will go towards Devi, if not 100%. So she is very happy that you are traveling on the path of Jnana. Now, Stotra has been gone into in great detail in our Shastra, which he is quoting. Very beautiful. He says, Stotras have got 6 characteristics. Namaskara sadasheshta siddhantokti parakramaha vibhuti prarthana chedi shadvidham stotra lakshanam. First is Namaskara. The Stotra should offer Namaskara, prostration. That is Ashishta, it should also seek blessings. Siddhantokti, it should also talk about the principle, which principle Devi stands for, or that particular Devata stands for. Parakrama, next is the valor of the Devata. Vibhuti, the glory, the way the Devi is all pervading, the Devi compassion, etc. It is all part of Vibhuti. Prarthana, the last is the prayer, what you want from Devi. This is 6-fold characteristic of Stotra Lakshanam. But commentator says this is talking about the gunas, the qualities of Devi. This is one type. But there is another type, he says, which is used in havans, homas, and japas, Vedic japas, mantra japas. So there what you find is also Stotra in a way. Even if you take very simple, Om Ramaya Swaha, Om Krishna Swaha, Om Durgaya Swaha. If you take even simple mantra, that means what? You are offering to the Durga, Rama, or Krishna in a sense of devotion, isn't it? So, but that mantra, because it is a Veda mantra, coming from Mantra Shastra, it has got a different potential. He says, if you do it very sincerely, Devata will be under your control. You can bring Devata under your control. That's what he said. That is the second type of Stotra, more powerful than the first type, which we discussed. This is Stotra Priya. Stutimati. Stutimati means she is always exposed to Stuti. She is always worshipped by many people. Stotras are being offered by many people. Stutimati. Another meaning possible is she grants after your stuti, after your stotra, she grants mati, she grants you jnanam, she grants you intellect, and mati also he splits into mati and e refers to aishwarya, wealth. So she grants you jnana as well as wealth. That is stuti mati. Shruti samstuta vaibhava. Devi's glory is praised by Vedas. Shruti Samskruta Vaibhava. Devi's glory is praised by Vedas. Well, we all know it. Manaswini. Manaswini means, in this context, Manaswini means one who has complete freedom of her mind. Your mind, if it is not under the control of someone else, if it is purely independent, then you are Manaswi, Manaswini. Because Devi is not under the sway of anyone else, she is Manaswini. Manavati. Manavati means one who has got large-hearted mind. Manavati. Mana is referring to large-heartedness. There are other meanings, but this is the meaning picked by our commentator. So that Devi releases you from your sins because she is large-hearted. She doesn't consider your sins as an obstacle in granting your wish. That is Manavati. Maheshi, she is the consort of Maheshwara, she is the consort of Parameshwara. Mangalakriti, she is the form of auspiciousness. She is of the very form of auspiciousness. Dakshina, Dakshina, Aradhya, Dharasmera Mukhambuja, Kaulini, Kevala, Anardhya, Kaivalya Padadayini, Stotra Priya, Stutimati, Shruti Samstuta Vaibhava, Manaswini, Manavati, Maheshi, Mangala Kriti.
Vishwamata Jagadhatri Visalakshi Viragini Pragalbha Paramodara Paramoda Manomayi Vyomakeshi Vimanastha Vajrini Vamakeshwari Panchayagya Priya Panchapreta Manjadi Shayini.
Vishwamata, she is mother of the entire universe. She is the mother. She is the Janani. She is one who created this entire universe. Jagadguru, not only creating, she is also protecting. She is supporting. Dhatri means supporter, one who nourishes and supports. That is Dhatri. It can also refer indirectly to the earth, Bhumi, because Bhumi is nourishing and supporting all of us. Vishalakshi, one who has wide eyes. Wide eyes referring to compassion. If you have narrow eyes, that means you are very selfish. You don't want to consider anybody else's wish. Whereas if you have wide eyes, you are happy and you are also willing to consider another person's wish. So, Vishalakshi, and also it refers to our Vishalakshi Devi in Varanasi. Also, there's another reference given by the commentator. Vishala is a term which refers to Badrik Ashram. You might have heard of Badri Vishal, they say, even now. So he says, there is a Ambika Peetham in Nepal, close to this Badri Vishal area, and the reference is to that Ambika, who is called Vishala, Vishala Peetham. Viragini, who is free from raga, who is having vairagya as her characteristic, detachment, no attachment. Well, it's the basic necessity for us to even start our journey on our path of moksha. Pragalbha means when you are traveling on that path, you need a lot of courage. Pragalbha is one who is courageous to be away from temptations of the world. So she is showing us the way. Parama Udara, extremely large-hearted, extremely compassionate, extremely generous. Parama Udara. Also, Udara can have another meaning, greatness, extremely great. Nobody is as great as Devi. And the third meaning given by commentator, very interestingly, there are several meanings. Para, Moda, Ara. he splits into three words. Para is superior, supreme. Moda is happiness, supreme happiness. Ara means she gives you in fullness. Ara means in fullness. That happiness she gives you in all dimensions. That is Paramodara. Now, I was confusing with Paramoda, which is next one. Now, here, that Moda was happiness in the last one. Here, it's not so. Here, it is Para Amoda. Amodam, as you know, refers to fragrance, good smell. Now, here, it is not smell, it is not fragrance, it is fame. Because Amoda also has got a meaning, fame. That means superior fame. Somebody whose fame is not comparable to anyone else. So, Paramoda. Manomayi. She is the very form of that mind. Because it is the mind which decides what we should do and what we should not do, isn't it? We are all driven by the mind. So, who is giving the power to that mind? Devi. So, Manomayi. If you take the mind in a wrong direction, that is our problem. To take the mind in the right direction, that is taking the grace of Devi and going in a forward path. That is because if you finally you have to lose your mind and lose yourself in Devi's consciousness that we saw earlier. That is Manomayi. So you will lose your mind ultimately and merge with Devi's consciousness. So for that she is helping you by taking the very form of that mind which you are going to lose. Vyomakeshi. Vyoma is the sky. One who is having her hair on the head as the sky. This is referring to Vishwarupa. If you see the Vishwarupa of Devi, like Vishwarupa of Krishna, Vishwarupa of other devatas, even Subramanya, ultimately you will find that their head is far above and the hair on the head can only be described as the sky. This is just to remind us of the all-pervading nature of Devi. In fact, Vyomakesha is also a name of Parameshwara. So that way also she is Vyomakeshi as the consort of Parameshwara. Vimanastha. Vimanastha means one who is seated in Vimana. One who is seated in Vimana. Because all the Vimanas are, Devas use all Vimanas for traveling and she is the one who is taking the form of those Devas. So Vimanastha refers to Devas. But there are several beautiful meanings derived by commentator. He says, V is Vishesha, Mana is giving encouragement, Sa means established. That means Devi is well established in giving encouragement to devotees. Well established in giving encouragement to devotees. This is another meaning. Another meaning, third meaning is, so many meanings is deriving. Vimana means, Mana means measuring. So Vimana means something which cannot be measured. If you take the negative meaning of V, something which cannot be measured. So Devi is seated in Parabrahman, which cannot be measured, which is beyond all measurement. So Vimanastha. Vajrini. Vajrini means, Vajri is Devendra, because he is wielding the Vajrayudha. So he is known as Vajri. And Vajrini is his wife, Indrani. So she is of the form of Indrani, because Indrani, as we saw in earlier version, earlier Nama, he is, Indrani is a great worshipper of Devi, and Devi guided her in her great time of great distress. So, you can also interpret as Vajrini as the holder of Vajrayudha, Devi herself holding Vajrayudha. Vamakeshwari. There are many tantras in Shakta literature. One tantra is called Vamakeshwara Tantra. So she is of the very form of the Vamakeshwara Tantra, can be one meaning. Another meaning is those who are following the Vama Marga, they are called Vamakas and Ishwari of those Vamamarga people. Pancha Yajna Priya, one who is fond of 5 yajnas. 5 yajnas are mentioned in Vedas as well as in Shastras. Vedas as well as in Shastras. Vedas mention 5 different yajnas, Shastras mention 5 different yajnas. Very beautiful. Sayeta yajna panchadidho agnihotram darshapurnamaso chaturmasyani pashussomaha. This is what Vedas says. 5 different, there actually they mean the actual yajna, which we do it in Agni. First is Agnihotram, second is Darshapurnamasa, which you perform immediately after Purnamasa and after Amavasya, every Paksha. Then Chaturmasya, which now is being undergone by our Acharya Swamiji, Chaturmasyani, Pashubandham, then Somayagam. These are the 5 important Pancha Yajna. But in the case of Smriti, which we have been ordained to do Pancha Mahayajna every day. That is Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna, that is Rishis, Pitri Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, and Manushya Yajna. These 5 yajnas are ordained compulsorily for all human beings on everyday basis. These are Pancha Mahayajna. So that is that. Then Pancha Preta Mancha Adhishayini, one who is seated in a seat, mancha, which is supported by 5 dead bodies, Pancha Preta. We have seen this concept before. We have seen that Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and Ishvara are the 4 legs of that cot, and Sadashiva is the spread on which Devi is seated. On the lap of Kameshwara is Kameshwari. But the spread, the cloth spread on which she is seated is Sadashiva. And that cot is supported on 4 legs, which are Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra, and Ishvara. We saw this before. Now, all these 5 are described as Preta, dead bodies, in the absence of Devi's blessing. We saw that. In the absence, like an ordinary cot is Jada Vastu. They also will become ordinary cot, they will become Jada Vastu if Devi does not give power to them, give their Shakti. So that is Pancha, Preta, Mancha, Adhishayini. Vishwamata Jagadguru Vishalakshi Virajini Pragalbha Paramodara Paramoda Manomayi Vyomakeshi Vimanastha Vajrini Vamakeshwari Panchayajna Priya Pancha Preta Manchadhishayini.
पंचमी पंचभूतेषि पंचसख्योपचारिणी शाश्वती शाश्वतैश्वर्या शर्मदा शंभुमोहिनी धरा धरसुता धन्या धर्मिणी धर्मवर्धिनी लोकातीता गुणातीता सर्वातीता शमात्मिका.
Panchami. It's a very interesting term, Panchami. Panchami is the 5th one. What is 5th one? Because just now we saw there are 4 devatas which are for the legs of that cot. 5th is Sadashiva. Now this name refers to being the consort of Sadashiva. He is Panchami. He is the consort of the Panchama Devata. The other 4 are less in status to the 5th one. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and Ishvara are lesser in status. So because Sadashiva is the highest, so she is Panchami. Second meaning is Panchami is also a name of Varahi. Varahi is also known as Panchami. Panchami Dandanatha Cha Sanketa Samayeshwari. So like this. Sada Samaya Sanketa Varahi Potrini Shiva. This is all Laditopakhanam says. So like Dandanatha we saw as Varahi earlier. Same Varahi is also referred to as Panchami. So that shows that Devi is the one who has taken that form herself. And Panchabhuteshi. She is the Ishwari of the Panchabhutas, the five elements. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, water, and earth. Now, these are the five basic elements of which the entire creation is made. She is the Ishwari of that. There are some extended meaning given by the commentator connecting with Vishnu and Vaijantimala, etc. Pancha Sankhyopacharini. She is worshipped, Upachara. She is given five Upachara, Pancha Sankhya, five numbers. Sankhya means number. Five numbers of Upacharas, offerings. She is always given. In fact, there are Shodashopacharas, there are 108 Ashtottara Shata Upacharas, all mentioned in Shastras. Puja consisting of 108 Upacharas, Puja consisting of 16. Shodasha is very common. Pancha is the very minimum, very bare minimum is Pancha. Even that is acceptable to Devi if you cannot offer more than five. Now, what are the five? Gandha, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, and Naivedya. These are the five. Gandha is fragrance, Pushpa, flower, Dhupa, we know, Deepa, and then Naivedya. These are the five Upacharas. Shashwati, who is eternal, this we have seen before, who has no beginning or end, eternally present. Well, he is giving another second meaning. Shashwati also means again and again, because she is worshipped again and again by devotees. She is Shashwati. Shashwata Aishwarya, whose wealth is eternal. He is possessing wealth which is eternal. Shashwata Aishwarya. Now, wealth can mean anything. Like we have Ashtalakshmi, all kinds of wealth. So, all wealth is the possession of Devi. So, she is Shashwata Aishwarya. Sharmada, one who gives us comfort. Sharma is comfort. One who makes you comfortable. Shambhu Mohini, who enchants even Shiva. Even Shiva is enchanted by Devi. Shiva is the greatest yogi. Shiva has overcome all raga, all attachment, all moha. But even he, such a Shambhu, gets attached, gets deluded by Devi's beauty and Devi's glory. So Shambhu Mohini. I think we stop now. Time. Panchami Panchabhuteshi Pancha Sankhyopacharini Shashwati Shashwateshwarya Sarmada Shambhu Mohini. We meet again next Saturday, 7 p.m. EST as usual. We are in the last lap of LALITHA SAHASRANAMA. So join in large numbers and let us make this concluding part very beautiful, successful. Any questions?
Those are questions. Please unmute yourself, turn on your video, and please ask questions. Any questions, anybody? Please unmute yourself and turn on your video. No questions.
I think no questions. Okay, fine. We close for the day. We meet again next Saturday, 7 p.m. IST. Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Sarvatra Govinda Namasankirtanam Govinda Govinda Sri Lalita Parameshwarye Jaya Jaya.
Thank you, sir.